thank you all for stepping forward today and offering yourselves for this position. I believe the nation will be well served by each of you. I would just say, Judge Kirsch, that the comment that was made by Senator Menendez about your support of the gentleman you described as your other son, DeAndre, really is inspiring, and I thank you for showing us that side of your character. Of those nominees at the table, there's one that has a very unique background that has not been addressed, and I would like to for a moment. Mr. Fabiarge, I'm sure I butchered your name 3 or 4 different times, but you mentioned that your parents were refugees to this country.
Senator, my father was born in a displaced persons camp in Germany just after the war.
I think your microphone may not be on.
I'm sorry, Senator. My father was born in a displaced persons camp in Germany after the war. He lived there for 2 years, and then he moved to the young state of Israel. He lived there until he was just shy of his 13th birthday, and then he came to the United States. And it was here in the United States that he met my mother. My mother's family had come here as adults from what had been the Ottoman Empire. My wife and I are college sweethearts, as I mentioned. My parents are high school sweethearts. That's when they met, and that's our family story.
Which I think is an interesting introduction to what you've done with your life. I can't help but note the counterintelligence and counterterrorism cases you've helped investigate and prosecute. First, Operation Ghost Stories. In 2010, the FBI arrested 10 Russian sleeper agents in the United States who had been planted here. The Russian Foreign Intelligence Service was responsible, and they were here to infiltrate our government. Not only were you the lead prosecutor in this case, before their arrest, you were the assistant U.S. attorney overseeing their investigation. As an assistant U.S. attorney, you also supported the investigation and prosecution of Abduwali Musee, a Somali pirate who hijacked the MV Maersk, Alabama, by kidnapping and ransoming the crew. Additionally, you were the lead prosecutor in the case against Ahmed Halani, an al-Qaeda member who helped orchestrate the 1998 truck bombings at the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi and Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, that killed 224 and injured thousands. I'm afraid to think of what I might ask you here that would do justice to your service to our country, but could you please comment on the lessons learned from your experiences with these cases?
Well, what I would say, Senator, is that each of those cases are very different one from the next. But in those cases, as in all cases I prosecuted, I hope I brought to them the same approach, which is the approach described by the Supreme Court in 1935 with respect to the special obligations of federal prosecutors. That's to seek justice and not victory, to pursue the guilty but to protect the innocent at the same time, and to see oneself not as using the law but so much as a servant of the law. I think that sensibility held me in good stead throughout all of those different kinds of cases.
I would just say, and I'll close here and turn over to my colleagues, I can still remember my early practice before the federal courts of Springfield, Illinois, and the number of judges that I faced in those courtrooms, and I have a mind's eye picture of each one of them and an opinion of each one of them and as judges and, more importantly, as people. I hope that you understand that this lifetime appointment gives you an opportunity to serve our nation, but also to serve the people who come before you. And I would ask for something that can be asked of me as well, and that is humility in your effort and an understanding that you respect the people who come in your courtroom should that day occur, and I think it will. But thank you all for being here, and I turn it over now to Senator Graham.